50% of the cow flesh in this country comes from spent dairy cows. So all of the animals in the dairy industry will end up at a slaughterhouse. So they'll be killed against their will. So
a sort of efficient use of those animals, then?
It doesn't make it moral whether it's an efficient use of an animal. If we were talking about dogs in those slaughterhouses, we'd never say that that's moral.
But we have a completely different view, don't we, towards our domestic animals than we do to our farm animals.
We care about our dogs and cats at home, but we'd never subject them to the abuse that we do to cows.
Yeah, but Joe, this is the food chain. You know, the spider eats the fly, the cat eats the mouse. You know, a tiger would eat us if we got in its way. That is what's been going on for 8,000 years. We've been drinking milk.
Exactly, that's true.
And that is... Our bodies have actually mutated to produce an enzyme called lactase, which allows lactose, which is the sugar in milk, to be digested by our gut. So our bodies...
Most human beings are actually lactose intolerant. And to say it's the food chain...
No, not Europeans and Americans. Yes, China and Japan. Yeah, they are lactose intolerant, but that's not part of their diet. It's not
You
part
made
of
a point
their
about a food chain. In the environment, animals eat out of necessity. They eat each other out of necessity. We have alternatives now. 30 different plant-based milks in the supermarket. Where does calcium come from? Plants, originally. How does the cow get the calcium in their body? Plants. We can get calcium from plants.
Yeah,
what have you got against plants? Plants are living things.
They're not sentient. They don't have a central nervous system. Do you think stabbing a puppy dog in the throat is the same as cutting up a carrot?
How do you know what plants feel?
Because they don't have a brain or a central nervous system.
Do you accept they're living things?
They're living, but they're not sentient.
You don't mind slaughtering living plants?
Piers,
because they don't feel pain.
That argument's really
if you're
weak.
in hospital and you're paralysed, what do they call you? A vegetable.
A lot of people might be tempted to take up a more vegan-based diet.
Yeah.
But they hate this kind of vegan terrorism that's going on.
Take the vegans out of the picture.
Milk is murder.
Take the vegans out of the picture.
That's a stupid thing to say.
It's about the animals. Are you against animal cruelty?
I'm against animal cruelty.
Of course. It's not cruel to bolt
I'm against human cruelty.
Me too. I don't kill humans either, but to kill animals for a product we don't need is cruel.
You have every right to be a vegan, as I have every right to be a meat eater. And you can do that. But please don't thrust the message down everyone's throats that we all have to change to veganism.
The only beings who are being thrusted are the animals who are being forced into slaughterhouses for an unnecessary reason. You just said that you're against animal cruelty, so this is your belief.
But animal welfare standards mean that we're supposed and expected to treat those animals well. And unfortunately, as part of the natural human food chain, we do eat animals. We just don't chase them down and kill them anymore.
What happens in nature is not moral. Lions kill out of necessity. Just because animals kill in nature because they have to doesn't make it moral. There's a difference between what's natural and what's moral.
So if the cows weren't taken to slaughterhouses but just stayed in fields and were milked that way, you'd have no problem with it?
If the cows were left alone and stopped being forcibly impregnated, so we have this high population...
My question is, if they were just in the fields and they were milked every day and they weren't taken to slaughterhouses, would you be fine with that?
We shouldn't be exploiting animals, period.
Right, so your issue is not really about milk, is it? Your issue is just anything to do with animals you've got a problem with, right?
Using animals and viewing them as products is a moral issue.
But what is wrong with a cow being milked for milk?
It's unnecessary.
Why do you need breast milk?
Joey, it's not.
You need breast milk from a cow? You're not a baby cow, bro.
You don't believe in harming other human beings?
I don't believe in harming other human beings or animals, no.
So in September 2011, you were arrested when police found a loaded, sawn-off pump-action
rifle.
Character
attack.
No,
Has this got anything to do with the topic at hand?
Well, OK.
It's a character attack.
It's called a
on my part.
It's called a fact.
OK.
Were you found with a pump-action rifle down your trousers?
Would this be relevant if I was speaking up against dog abuse or child abuse?
I'm asking you a question. Is that true?
It's true. I was incarcerated for something I did in my past.
Police found 29 bullets, right, as well, and a flick knife.
This is no way to have a debate on dairy.
Piers, everyone makes mistakes.
Wait a minute.
This is a character
attack. I'm simply asking a question.
OK.
You didn't expect to be defending him, did you, Anthony?
Was your intention with the bullets and the rifle and the flick knife to cause harm to human beings?
OK, let me answer that. I used to consume animal products 3 times a day as well, so I was harming animals and humans, OK? But I changed my life around and now I'm vegan. Now, just because I did something wrong in the past doesn't mean I can't do something right now. How does that justify your abuse of dairy cows so you can have milk in your coffee?
It seems to me you were a pretty violent guy.
I used to be.
Yeah. And a pretty voracious
and you can't turn your life around and do something good for animals?
Everyone is entitled. Piers, leave them alone.
Let him go. Let him go. I want to see.
You are entitled to it. And again, I come back to this.
What have I done wrong now?
I realise that veganism, it's not my thing, but I realise it's a growing thing.
It is.
It's not your thing?
My problem is this kind of vegan terrorism that goes on.
He's against animal cruelty, so
everyone that drinks milk, according to you, is a murderer.
No, not consciously. They don't know. But now you know what happens to animals in slaughterhouses so you can have milk in your coffee. And what are you going to do about it?
A lot of cows that get milk don't go to slaughterhouses.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
You don't know nothing about the industry, my friend.
Do you renounce... I mean, you've talked about the fact it's unfair to launch a personal attack on you because of your past, but do you renounce all violence against, for instance, the farming industry or butcher shops?
I've never advocated for violence to spread a peaceful message.
So anything
I've said in the past, I've changed my advocacy. When I first went vegan, I was quite angry about what was happening to animals, and rightly so. If they were dogs, you could see the anger that majority of the public would be...
So in March 2016, right, when alongside the video entitled "Ethical Hunters Deserve a Bullet in the Head," you wrote, "I hope one of these bleeps accidentally shoot one of their own family members in the face."
Keyword.
That was 2 years ago.
2016.
2 years
when
ago.
I first went vegan and I seen people hunting innocent animals. If they were hunting dogs, have you ever seen dog cruelty videos in the comments section?
But you just said you renounce violence, so you...
Right now.
You wouldn't say that...
This is 2018. I've changed my...